everybody, it's me, Curry T, and in this video we're going to be talking about a much requested topic, which is, should you date other people, or can you date other people while you're manifesting a specific person? So in this video I'm going to share with you some of my experience with this, my opinion, which might help you to make your own opinion. In the manifestation community, you do see videos that are saying you shouldn't date other people while you're manifesting a specific person, and some people that are saying that it's totally okay. So how do you know what's right and wrong? Well, in my opinion, what is right and wrong is what feels right and wrong to you. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story first. So as many of you know, I met my specific person in 2014, and we didn't end up being together at that time, and it was very intense, lots of emotions, and it didn't ever come to anything at that time. And then so we went off our separate ways, and we both saw other people. And in the time that we were apart, I didn't know anything about manifestation at that time. I didn't know anything about it the way I know about it now. And I remember really not being ready to go on any dating apps or to meet anyone else. No one else compared to the way that I felt about Johnny. And I really just felt like dating other people was just pointless. And I didn't want to do it because it just made me actually more sad. But I did get to the point where I was just so sick of everything, and I just thought, I can't put my life on hold, and I'm just going to meet someone else. I'm just going to go on Tinder and just meet someone else. And I did. And that person that I met, I ended up being with for a year and a half. Now, really, the truth is that at the back of my mind, I really did feel like what I had with Johnny was unfinished. Being in that relationship, I was kind of worried about what would happen if Johnny suddenly turned up again. Or if he suddenly started speaking to me, would I feel really dishonest or disloyal? Or what would I do with all of these feelings that were still there, just buried at the time? And what would happen if he came back into my life again? And I had a conflict within me about those feelings. But the truth is that at the time I was where I was. At the time I wasn't consciously trying to manifest Johnny. I just felt like that's the way life had gone. He was somewhere else, he was with someone else, and I kind of felt like that's just the way it was, and I was just letting life do its thing. And part of me thought, maybe this will work, maybe this will be the person that I'm with. I just carried on in that relationship, and it just naturally ran its course. And at the same time, I knew from afar, from people telling me things or seeing something every now and then on Facebook, I knew that Johnny was also in a relationship or out of a relationship or with someone new, and it felt like that was just what life was doing. But really, part of me knew, okay, I really do feel, as much as I maybe shouldn't feel this, or I don't know if it's fair that I'm feeling this, I felt like me and Johnny were going to meet again. I think what made it way less confusing for me was the fact that I wasn't consciously trying to manifest a relationship with Johnny. I wasn't doing that, and so I had no conflict within me of interest. I wasn't in a relationship and intentionally creating another one, because personally I think I would find that very difficult. At the same time, I am very much of the belief that people come into your life for a reason. And in my case, that relationship that I had before Johnny very much came into my life for a reason. He taught me about relationships, he taught me about myself, he taught me about anxiety, he taught me how to be in a relationship because I hadn't really been in one before. So he taught me a lot, and it was necessary, and I'm so glad that I had that experience because it helped me in the relationship that I've now created with Johnny. So this is something that I see quite a lot, is that people will be manifesting a specific person and it seems to be taking a long time, and they're finding that they're exhausted with just manifesting a specific person, and then they find that actually they get some relief when someone else comes in and gives them the attention that's showing them, oh wow, my self-concept has improved, and they enjoy that, and then they have a nice connection with someone else. And then it's confusing because they're like, do I go along with this or do I keep manifesting my specific person? And what I usually say to people is, what feels right now? What are you drawn to doing right now? Because there's no right or wrong with this. There's nothing that you can do wrong. And I think it's more important to be where you are and let life show you and bring you the people and the lessons and the experiences that are necessary for you to grow. Like I said before, I think the thing that makes it complicated is the intention of consciously manifesting and also wanting to get on with your life and have experiences and people and lessons that life just brings you so that you can be in a state of flow. The other thing to really consider is, why are you wanting to date someone else? Because if you're doing it because you want to get validation, you want attention, you're trying to soothe something within you by getting it from someone else, you're trying to co-regulate basically, then I don't personally think it's a very good idea, because then you're not really solving the problem and you're just transferring it onto someone else. And I really feel like jumping from relationship to relationship and diverting your focus away from yourself when there is healing to be done, when there's self-love to learn about, when you're trying to cultivate and learn how to feel and know within yourself that you're safe, that you're loved, that you're worthy, and that you've got work to do on that. Removing your focus away from the pain that you might be feeling and the discomfort sometimes maybe isn't the best idea, because there's work to be done there in order for you to feel whole and complete and know that you don't need anyone to come along and tell you that you're amazing and you're beautiful and you're worthy. But very often people are telling me that they're actually feeling really good within themselves and they've actually healed so much of the pain and the dependency that they felt for their specific person, and they're feeling more grounded and balanced, and naturally it's drawn someone in and they've been attracted to someone new who is reflecting those new beliefs, that new self-concept, and they're just enjoying that connection and they want to explore it. And they're like, what is this connection? And they're interested in it and they like it and they like this person's company. And it just is what it is. And maybe you don't know what it is, but you just like the person's company, and just why not? There's no bad intentions there. There's no idea of where it's going to go. There's no conflict. It is what it is. And then there's another voice in their head that says, but I shouldn't be doing this because really what I think I really want is my specific person. And what I would say to that is, honestly, just be where you are. Be where you are. If you're feeling good within yourself and you're feeling grounded and you're feeling whole within yourself, there's no reason why a new person might not come along and say, hey, I've got something to teach you too. There's lessons that you can learn from me. And maybe that relationship won't last forever. Maybe deep down you already know that it won't last forever. But not every relationship does last forever. In fact, most of them don't. So in my opinion, I think it's perfectly okay for you to see other people and to just be where you are. Also, going back to my story, years later, after lots had happened between me and Johnny, and I was in Italy and I was very much on my own, I had realised that he was not going to be my happiness and that I had to be my own happiness. I had realised that I had a lot of healing work to do. I did a big whole journey of introspection, self-love, affirmations, and all of the self-love stuff that was so important. And I got myself to be in quite a grounded place, and I wasn't so obsessive. I had other things going on. I was very creative. I was creating music videos. I had friends around me. There was more going on than just manifesting a specific person. I'd really come quite a long way. But I did find myself kind of stuck in this state of really not being able to move on with my life, because I was still stuck on thinking about him and I couldn't really let go, and it was quite difficult. And I found myself getting very upset about it and just feeling like my life wasn't moving forward, and I wanted to just be able to have fun. And I thought, you know what, there's no harm in me going on a few dates. And really I knew that my intention was not to meet anyone seriously. And actually the way that I handled it, that conflict, because I did feel it myself, was I was just really honest. I was just really honest with anyone that I met and said, look, the truth is that I don't think I'm really looking for anything serious. I'm also not looking for a hookup, which led people to be quite confused, because they'd say, well, what are you looking for then? A friend? And I would say, I don't know. This is where I am right now, and I just feel like I need to be honest with you, because really the truth is I don't want anyone to get hurt. But where I am right now, I can't pretend that I'm looking for a serious relationship. That's what I did. That's what I personally did, because that's what felt right to me. The way that I felt when I went on these dates was, first of all, that I was always quite disappointed, because I felt I was in that state of nothing and no one compared to my specific person. I was always reminded of how much I actually wanted and connected to my specific person, and that nobody else was giving me that connection. So I obviously wasn't ready to or open to really deeply connecting with anyone else. But at the same time, it did get me out of the house. It helped me to meet other people. At the time, it was good because I was learning Italian, so I got to speak some Italian. And it was just good, I suppose, to have the experience of meeting other people. And obviously, I also felt quite good because people were very nice to me. It was nice to be treated well. And I thought, yeah, I deserve that. I deserve to be treated well. And here I am, in Italy, being treated well by these nice people who I probably won't ever see again. But it was just, there was no harm in it. There was no harm in it. I was very honest about it. And I actually never had more than one date with someone. It was just usually like a walk around or a coffee or something. It really helps me to move forward into the state of, you know what, I'm going to be okay no matter what. I'm going to be okay no matter what. There are other people out there, and I really wanted to get into the state of I'm going to be okay no matter what, and I'm going to be happy no matter what, because being so dependent on one person and one situation to evolve in order for me to know and feel like I could be happy was exhausting and stressful, and I got sick of it. I just got really sick of it. So going on dates helped me to realise that, you know what, I'm going to be fine. So actually it was quite good because it shifted me out of my very dependent, needy state. So that was one benefit of it, and it's something that someone suggested to me. Someone said, why don't you just go on a few dates? What's the harm in it? It might shift you out of the state of only thinking about this one person all the time, and it did. Actually did. And honestly, I personally don't see any harm in it, but I know other coaches say things like, oh well, you're not really living in the end if you're going on dates with other people. And I personally don't really agree with that. And you can know, I knew really deep down, I knew, even though I was going on dates, I knew that the truth was, and my truth was actually spoken out loud as well. I wasn't ready to meet anyone else. I wanted to have some company. I wanted to meet some new people. I wanted to shift my state. I wanted to know that I was okay. But really, where I was at that time, in that space in my life, was that I wanted to be with Johnny. And that was the truth of it. There has been other times in the 8 years that we've known each other where I've just put Johnny right to the back of my mind and thought about someone else obsessively and felt really, really strong feelings for them and stuff. But did it stop my manifestation? Did it mean that it never happened? Did it get in the way of us happening? No. And actually, honestly, it benefited me because it gave me that experience. And sometimes people say, if I date someone else, will it stop my manifestation from happening? I don't honestly think so. That's definitely not my experience, because both Johnny and me dated other people, and actually that was necessary for our growth and our learning and us becoming who we are now so that we could be together. So, you know, in answer to the question, should you date someone else or shouldn't you date someone else, it's just so totally up to you. It's just totally up to you. No one can tell you what's right and wrong for you. No one can tell you who someone is to you or what they might have to teach you. It might be necessary. It might not be necessary, but you're the one who gets to decide. Only you. And the thing is that you decide the meaning of it. You get to decide if this is going to prevent you from manifesting what you want. You get to decide. No one else, only you. The other thing as well that I said to someone else is to make a choice, not a decision. So sometimes you'll be in your head thinking of the pros and cons, or should I date this person or should I just keep manifesting this person? You'll be making pros and cons and pros and cons. That's where you can stay up in your head and you can just be stuck there, and you can be stuck there for ages and ages and ages. And the feeling of certainty that you're looking for to try to find that feeling of, okay, I know what to do, this is the right thing, will never be found up in your mind, because your mind will always think of another idea or another question. So really, you've got to stop making decisions and start making choices. A choice is when you just go, right, what's my just because? What's my answer just because? If I was to decide what I want to do, what I'm drawn to doing, what I feel like doing today, right now, what's the answer? And just go with that. And the answer is, and the reason why is just because. My answer to the question that I have is, well, I don't know why, just because. Just because. That's your intuition, that's your gut feeling, let's just go with that for now. And let life just lead you where it's going to lead you, to the lessons, the people and the circumstances that you want to create. The thing I suppose that has just always been true, the thing I guess that was manifesting the whole time, is that no matter what I did, no matter who I was with, I had a feeling deep down that me and Johnny would somehow meet again and that something else was going to happen. And I just had that feeling all along. And sometimes it was right in the back of my mind, so I never felt guilty about it. I didn't worry about it. It just was what it was, and I was where I was in my life. And at that point, maybe I was dating someone else. Maybe I was seeing someone else or in a relationship with someone else. But that thought was right back there, like way back, way over there. So I wasn't really bothered about it, but it was still there. And when I thought about it, I thought, yeah, that's true. What am I going to do about that then if I'm with someone else? And that kept coming back to me. But the way it worked, the way it unfolded, was that I never needed to worry about Johnny turning up while I was with someone else, because that never happened. It just didn't happen. The relationships and the things that I had and the experiences that I had with other guys just naturally came to their organic end without me having to do anything or make a big decision. And that's how it unfolded for me. Maybe because really deep down, that's what I believed would probably happen. Like I said before, if I had been consciously trying to manifest Johnny for the whole time, first of all, that would have been bloody exhausting. And I think I'm so bloody glad that I didn't do that, because we've known each other since 2014. And if I had put my life on hold for that long, it would have been so depressing, and I never would have got anywhere. I never would have realised my own sense of independence, my own sense of self-worth, the realisation that I was going to be okay no matter what, and that my happiness doesn't come from him and that it comes from me, and that I bring it to the situations and the people that I'm with. You know, I never would have had those realisations. So thank God I wasn't consciously manifesting the whole time. But if I had been thinking about it the whole time, it would have been really confusing and really conflicting. And I think what I'm seeing in my clients and the people that are asking me these questions is that they're in a time in their life where they have been really consciously committed to manifesting a specific person, and they're getting to that point where they're like, I don't know how long I can do this for. This is exhausting, and I'm tired of thinking that my happiness depends on this one person. And at that point, someone else comes in, and then they feel this conflict and they don't know what to do with it. And I just honestly think, you know, if you've done the work on the self-love and the self-healing, and you're feeling grounded and secure within yourself, and you know that happiness doesn't come from another person, and you've got to be that happiness, and you're able to love deeply who you are, and you know that someone else isn't going to come along and validate you and save you, right? If you know that, then be where you are and let life bring you the people and the lessons that you need to have to grow and evolve. Because most relationships, most of them, the truth is that most of them don't last forever. So it might be that someone's just coming into your life for a season or a period to teach you something, for you to grow, for that person to grow, for you to become the person that you need to be in order for you to create the relationship that you want with your specific person. Maybe that's the scenario. And maybe if you don't see this person or be with this person or date this person or be in a relationship with this person, maybe you won't get those lessons. So who's to know? And who the hell on the internet is going to tell you what to do? Because they don't know either. Only you know. Only you intuitively know, right? There's no one on the internet that can tell you what to do. You get to decide. It's totally up to you. And I'm not here to tell you you're wrong for deciding one way or the other. I'm here to turn the lens back on you and say, it's up to you. You can't make a mistake. Everything is going to be okay. All is well. Don't even worry about it. So that's my experience. That's my opinion. Now it's your turn to make your opinion and go forth and do whatever you want. Whether that's be with other people, date someone else, be in a relationship with someone else or not, is totally up to you. It really is totally up to you. At the end of the day, in my situation, I suppose my outcome, the outcome that me and Johnny ended up together, is evidence that if you date other people and you see other people, you're not going to mess up your manifestation. So there's that. There's that little fact there. So I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like some one-to-one coaching or you'd like any information about the Manifestation Masters Academy that's happening starting from the 9th of September for 12 weeks, which is going to be amazing, then you can find all the information in the links below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.